It's the champ, Shannon the Cannon, two-time heavyweight champion of the world. And you're watching Sports Icons. Subscribe. Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ. Champ.
Right, so I watched the Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury weigh-in, and for those of you who haven't seen it yet, I'll put a link in the description box for you guys, so you guys can go watch it here on YouTube. So go in the description box, but obviously before you get in there, click the thumbs up and subscribe to this video, and then come back and drop your comments to what you think of the weigh-in yourself. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? All that kind of thing. So anyway, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury had their weigh-in today. Tyson Fury, let's start off with him. He looked real good. He weighed 256.5 pounds, so 256 pounds, which is very good considering where he was. Now, bear in mind, in his last fight, he was 258 pounds, so he's actually £2 lighter, well, £1.5 pounds to be precise, lighter than what he was against Pianeta, and he's £20 lighter than what he was against Afersa Ferry, and he's £9 heavier than what he was when he fought Vladimir Klitschko, and he is £8 lighter than when he fought Derek Chisora in a rematch, where a lot of people argue that that is probably his best performance against Derek Chisora. So weight goes, excellent for Tyson Fury, very good, and I can actually see a couple of little abs going on there. So a little bit more training in the gym, and we can see Tyson Fury with a six-pack, arguably for probably the first time in his career, right? Anyway, it looked very good. So Deontay Wilder, first of all, he's wearing a mask. So Bomb Squad was wearing a mask, or Mom Squad, whatever you want to call him. He was wearing a mask. Why? And not too sure, to be honest. I'm not too sure what the mask represents at all. Maybe he was just doing it to hide his fear, because this was a very pro Tyson Fury crowd. Very pro Tyson Fury crowd. It's almost like Tyson Fury was at home and Deontay Wilder was the away fighter. And as we've seen, when Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder met in the ring in Belfast, Deontay Wilder, he looked like he had fear in his face, like he was nervous in Belfast, and maybe that's why he wore the mask. Maybe his bottom lip was quivering a little bit and whatever. And of course, they didn't have the head-to-head either, and Tyson Fury was going mad at Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder was just stood there, froze in fear, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, Mom Squad, he weighed 212.5 pounds. So 212 pounds. Now, bearing in mind, when he fought Luis Ortiz last time, he weighed 214 pounds. And me and a lot of people saying, that is ridiculously light for Deontay Wilder, of a guy of his size, considering his upper body frame is pretty decent, but his lower, as in his legs, they're like a 12-year-old boy. Quite how those legs carry that torso is beyond me. So he goes down 212. I believe I heard him say that he was actually sick in training camp, which is why he was down that much in weight. But to come in on this one, 212 pounds, this is actually his second lightest that he's ever been in his whole career. The lightest he's ever been was 207 pounds on his pro debut back in 2008. Why was he that light on his debut, 207 pounds? Because he fought at heavyweight in the 2008 Olympics, and not super heavyweight. Super heavyweight, that's where David Price was, and Deontay Wilder ducked him. So anyway, yeah, 212 pounds. So this is the lightest that he's ever been since his debut. Now, what was the thinking behind this? Oh, sorry, before I forget, 212 pounds with the mask on. How much does that mask weigh? Who knows? What, a couple of pounds maybe? Don't know. But either way, 212 is ridiculous for a man of his height and his skinny legs at heavyweight. That's just insane. Now, as I said, what could the potential thinking be behind this? Number one, maybe he was sick again, because that was his excuse for weighing 214 pounds. It was only £2 heavier than this one against Luis Ortiz. He was sick. He was throwing up. He was on the toilet, whatever else. Personally, I think a lot of that was because he was staying up worrying about Anthony Joshua, and maybe it's the same with this one. Maybe he's up all night thinking about Joshua and how he had an opportunity to become undisputed and he threw it away because he got scared. Maybe, who knows? Maybe he hadn't been eating because he generally thought at one point he may have to fight Anthony Joshua. Don't know. But anyway, When you put these guys both together, okay, now when they're not in the clinch, it's not that much of a problem really, but from distance, it's all well and good. And for the long distance as well, as in rounds, it's pretty good for Deontay Wilder because he can keep on moving around. Unless he's feeling weight drained, in which case he could end up tiring. We don't know. I don't know what he walks around at normally. But is it a case of he was sick? Is it a case of he's done it on purpose? Don't know. Really, really don't know. But if you've got a guy, if these guys get into the clinch and Tyson Fury has got Deontay Wilder bent over, pardon the pun, but I'm not meaning it that way, as in he's on the back of Deontay Wilder's neck, putting his whole weight on him, those skinny little legs are not going to be able to take the weight of Tyson Fury. They're not going to be able to. He's already off-centered, Deontay Wilder. You kind of see how he fights because he's so tall, he's so skinny, and his torso is pretty bulky. Okay, so he's pretty much off balance. So when he throws a punch, it's like his legs are just unbalanced from underneath him. So now he's lost even more weight. You put a weight of 256 pounds on the back of your neck, on your back, those little legs are going to snap like twigs. Let's be honest. There's no way that Deontay Wilder he needs to avoid the clinch is what he needs to do. I mean, I don't see too much clinching going on in this one, to be honest. I think this is going to be a range fight. I think it's going to be a game of cat and mouse. I really do, for a little while. Ultimately, until Tyson Fury gets caught with the big right from Deontay Wilder. That's what my head is telling me. But my heart is saying Tyson Fury. I want him to spark out Wilder. I want to see those skinny little legs sticking up in the air with his back on the floor like he's giving birth. Again, pardon the pun, mum squad. So that's what I want to see. But £212, he looks ill. I noticed yesterday at the final press conference, Wednesday at the final press conference, I thought he looked very, very skinny. It's like his trousers were too big for him. I thought, okay, well maybe it's not. Maybe some kind of fashionable thing that they have gone on over there. But no, that is ridiculous. He's only £12 above cruiserweight. £12, that's it. All he's got to do is skip a meal one day and he's making cruiserweight limit. So maybe him going down there to fight his brother because he didn't want his brother to have any kind of shine because he's already getting a little bit jealous of a little bit of attention that his brother's getting, that maybe he will actually go down to cruiserweight and fight his brother. Who knows? Hopefully, though, that this is the last time we ever see Deontay Wilder on the scales, because I'm hoping that Tyson Fury sparks this boy out or actually schools him, and we never ever have to see Wilder or the Wildettes again. Not all the fans. Listen, I know that Wilder has a lot of good fans and a lot of sensible ones, but there are a whole group of absolute morons, and hopefully those who are associated with those channels will just go on down and watch knitting programs, okay? Just stay away from boxing, leave boxing to the big boys, okay? But will that happen? Who knows? For me, I think £212, that's not good. As I said, if that was deliberate, maybe he felt that because he was light against Luis Ortiz, he could move around quite a bit. But don't forget, he got rumbled in that fight. Luis Ortiz is certainly a bigger puncher than Tyson Fury, but Tyson Fury is a lot more elusive. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe it'll come to nothing. Maybe the weight isn't going to be that much of a difference, especially if they keep it at distance, if they keep it at range. Maybe this is Deontay Wilder thinking, go the distance. Take him into the deeper rounds. Tyson Fury's been very, very inactive against very subpar opposition as well, coming back after 2.5 years out of the ring, not even stepping foot in the gym for 2 of those years. So maybe take Tyson Fury into the late rounds. Maybe Tyson Fury will start to tire a bit and maybe Wilder will just detonate then. Or this is all some kind of game and Deontay Wilder will just detonate on Tyson Fury in the very first round. Who knows what's going to happen? But ultimately, I think if a true heavyweight puncher, such as Joshua, such as Dylan White, or maybe even Luis Ortiz again, cracks Wilder, I think Wilder could well go. Now, if Tyson Fury is a bigger puncher, as Freddie Roach and plenty of others have been saying that he is, that the fact that he held back against Pianeta, then who knows? Who knows? Maybe Tyson Fury can actually knock out Deontay Wilder. So if Deontay Wilder does get knocked out, expect this weight to be an excuse. Expect it. But anyway, that's my thoughts. You drop me yours. Go give that video a watch. Come back here. Drop your thoughts below. Click that thumbs up. Subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.